Alright, as we all know, Save the Best for Last recently received a pretty serious nerf. Now, the first part of this is not too significant, it only reduces the percentage of the buff that we got from the perk. The second part is pretty significant, however, and the reason is that it changes how we used to be able to work around the side effect of this perk. Now, if you don't know, Save the Best for Last reduces your cooldown after every successful basic attack dealt to a non-obsession player. And every time you deal one to an obsession player, you lose stacks. Now, how you used to be able to get around this was play with this perk equipped on killers who had secondary attacks, not all of them do. And with those killers, hit the obsession only with your secondary attack, which might slow you down a little bit, but that way you wouldn't lose stacks, and that way you could gain stacks quickly and keep them throughout the majority of the match. Now, with this new change, any attack you do on the obsession whatsoever takes your stacks. So, in a way, this perk is bad for the game, because now it's incentivizing killers to tunnel more. Because now, instead of trying to hit everybody equally, yes, you would still try and avoid the obsession here and there, but now there's no reason to go for the obsession at all. You can't even just ignore them or run it on certain killers. There's pretty much no incentive to chase the obsession whatsoever, and now we're creating problems where Save the Best for Last is still a good perk, but only if you tunnel. So it's kind of problematic. And so after this change came out, I was looking through the wheel of killers, and I was trying to see how I could work around this change, and I found some things that were pretty interesting. Now, while your secondary attack still does take stacks away from Save the Best for Last if you hit the obsession, there are a few exceptions to this that I found that are quite interesting. To explain this, I'll show you guys some demographics. There's a large majority of killers who, pre-nerf and post-nerf, aren't feeling any different about this because they don't have a secondary attack in which to hurt the obsession and avoid losing stacks, and so they can only attack with their primary attack or their M1 attack, and these killers show no effect from this change. Then there's another group of killers who have secondary attacks who used to utilize this perk very well while also attacking the obsession and preventing losing stacks. These killers are no longer viable to use with this perk in a strategy that includes hitting the obsession. However, there are 3 killers in which I've found are capable of injuring and downing the obsessions without losing any stacks at all. Now here's the catch. These 3 killers are not good at doing it and doing it effectively. The first of these 3 is the Trapper. Now obviously you can catch survivors in your traps, and if the survivor steps in it, they get injured, which is the first state. The second state is you can pick them up straight out of a trap. Now, if you hit the obsession while they're trapped in a bear trap, of course, you'll still lose a trap. But Trapper has the capability to just pick up the survivor straight out of the trap and avoid losing the stack, similar to a grab off of a window or a pallet. You can also do this with add-ons that automatically put the survivor in the dying state if they free themselves, which is probably the easiest way to do this, because it's not likely that the obsession's going to step in your trap, especially if the survivor knows what they're doing and can play well against the Trapper, or if they're on Swift comms and your traps are getting called out and disarmed. The few matches I tried with this were brutal and did not work out very well for me. It's not very practical, but it is a way to get around it. The other killer that I thought to use this with was Nemesis, because Nemesis is the only killer in the game who has other players on his team that are actively roaming around the map, i.e. the zombies. Now, we all know how inconsistent the Nemesis' zombies can be, getting stuck on objects, getting killed by pallets, getting flashlight blinded and incapacitated by survivors. The zombies are pretty worthless at times. However, if the zombies do manage to get a hit off on survivors, they will infect and injure and down, all without causing you a loss of your Save the Best for Last stacks. Because while they are technically a part of your secondary power and in your kit, they are their own separate entity in terms of hitbox. So when the zombies hit a survivor, the hit is technically not coming from you, the player. So you can get around this. Now here are the reasons why it's not practical for Nemesis. 1, you need to hit a survivor 3 times to down them if they're not infected. 2, you cannot infect the obsession with Nemesis even if it doesn't cause an injury without losing stacks. I was pretty upset to learn this. I thought that Save the Best for Last only took stacks when you injure a survivor, because for 98% of the killers that's the case, when you make contact with them with some part of your power, it usually injures them, with the exception of the plague. But even when you puke on a survivor as a plague, they will eventually become injured. Versus Nemesis, you still have to hit them twice. So I was pretty let down to learn that even just infecting the obsession with your tentacle as Nemesis still loses stacks. I realize it's not injuries, it's just any point that you make contact. But if you injure the obsession early on and they don't vaccinate or they get infected by a zombie, these things can work. I experimented with this pretty thoroughly, setting myself to indoor maps to try and make it more likely that the zombies would trap people in, using perks to block pallets and windows, and pretty much trap in survivors as much as I could and incentivize the zombies to attack them. And let me tell you, it did not work out very well. Most of these that I tried either didn't work because the zombies' AI is so bad, or it would take so long to get it down on the obsession that by the time you get the obsession down using only zombies, the exit gates are going to be powered and the survivors are all going to be out of there. So it's not practical whatsoever. Of course, it did help a little bit to use add-ons for the zombies, zombie speeds and or zombie field of view increase. Me personally, as a Nemesis main, I actually pretty much run only these add-ons on him anyway, because most of his add-ons are dumpster fire garbage. But anyway, it does help a little bit to have zombie speed, but even in the majority of the trials I ran with bots, just trying to see if this was possible, I ran the 2 best speed add-ons for zombies and still had difficulty with this on RPD, which in my opinion is the best map for zombies, because even though Larry's is good too, there's a lot of open passageways and turns that zombies get stuck on, and RPD has a lot of narrow straightaways, and so I think it's one of the best maps in terms of zombie capabilities. And I still struggled with this, and I struggled with it with bots who run everything pretty mathematically. Now, the best user of Save the Best for Last after this nerf has got to be Knight. The Knight's guards also have the same applications, where if the guard injures the obsession, it technically does not come from you. The guard has its own hitbox and everything. And I'm going to show you guys a match to demonstrate how this works. And while it's still difficult to pull off, the Knight is the best user out of these 3 to make this perk work, because at the very least, even if your guards aren't getting injuries and downs on the obsession, at the very least they're keeping them busy for about 30 seconds while you focus on other people. You also can't body block with them, or if the obsession takes hits for another survivor trying to get you to lose stacks, you can drop a guard and then they'll have to take a hit by the guard, or vice versa. And it's still viable, and I think Knight is the only killer in the game who can do this consistently and without slowing himself down enough where it throws the game. So watch this match, let me know what you guys think, and please enjoy. Oh, hi, right up in there. That's exactly the same spot I spawned in with Nemesis earlier, and it looked like Nemesis was like sucking on the hook like a lollipop because he's so tall. It was really funny. Anybody up here? Hello? Oh my god, I literally did not know where I was. I hit that wall and I was like frozen. I did hear somebody over here. Oh, I always find the obsession first. At least we hit her sloppy. I think a couple peeps dropped down here to do these since they seen the guard coming up that way and they figured I'd go and investigate. And she lost a ton of distance on that double back. Well, I could have gotten her if I was just patient. Could have gotten her there too. Jolt is going to do big things for us here. I guess I keep getting all these baller maps now that I'm not playing Nemesis. That would have been so good on him. Oh well. Who am I chasing? Hello? Oh, hi. Oh, and she got hit by the guard range too. That's nasty. That's unfortunate. The guards do vault a lot faster than you, which is about the only thing they're good for. She'll pre-drop that, probably. Just fake using my power, just stand still for a second. Okay, I didn't even know there was room for you to dodge that. 4 stacks. We keep having progressively better starts though, which is nice. I do appreciate that. Those Nemesis games are painful. It'd be like 2 gens in and I'm at 2 stacks. Not even losing any, just can't land any M1s. That is the problem with going to an indoor map, because I feel like traditionally they have more pallets. Anybody back over here? No, because they finished this. It's gonna be desolate. Maybe interrupt this heal with Sloppy. Oh, never mind, they finished it. Cool. I was gonna say, if they didn't finish it, and one of them got interrupted, that'd have been great for me. Because Sloppy now has, with the changes to hemorrhage, Sloppy automatically reduces healing progress if they're not actively healing. So her healing progress would have gone all the way down to 0 again. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Also, words are difficult, you know. Yeah, take hits, Joe. Take hits, take hits. Take hits, please. Please take hits. Ooh. Hit her with the tip, dog. Tip of the sword. You could always run this with fire up, too, to pick up faster. And really throw off timings on saves and stuff. Because then you'd have shorter cooldown on, oh, that got Steve? That's unfortunate. What is good, though, is that we got that. And she doesn't have anywhere to dodge this. So we should get a pretty free chase here. Hopefully we get a hit on her. So we're at 8 stacks now. I don't mind losing stacks when I'm at 8 and I hit him once to go to 6, because realistically I'm going to hit another person again, especially if it's the one to down them, and then I'm going to go find somebody else and get at least one more stack after that anyway. But when you're at like anything 6 under, it sucks to lose a stack. Because you really don't start to feel the benefits of it until about 4 or 5. Obsession this way. Please let me do my power. No, I'm still walking, but damn. Okay, see, that was interrupted. Now they lost all their healing progress. Not a single one went for a protection hit on this guy, and this pallet's gone. They just doomed him. Oh, good dead hard. I'm not even that upset about it, though, because we've got save. In 2 seconds, we're gonna go right through this pallet and melt it. Oh, now here come the protection. It's okay. I was starting to wonder. Jolt. Now this is working out well for us. I'll eat one, sure. Why not? I got plenty. Just in case Claudette was getting any ideas about body blocking at a hook or something. Also, great Sabo, bro. Oh, okay. Look at this teamwork right here. Yeah, what a save. What a blind. I think I need help patrolling this here. Why don't I just put out my teammate? Tag him in. I'm not even gonna bother. Jolt's gonna take care of it. This is a free hit. You do have a lot more consistency without Game of Foot, because at least that way you know who's who, and it's not going to change on a dime. Oh, you actually left that, huh? This could be a free down. And try and cut her off. Maybe she goes back and gets hit by the guard. Ooh, she played that very well. She knew what was up. And she's going to gain endurance now. Oh no, I think it actually ended first, beforehand. Maybe I can get a grab if she doubles back. Damn. Shame. Another chase, though. That's always an option, by the way. You can get a grab off of a pallet or on a window. Or off of a gen, even. She keeps finding a way to grab that, though, so that sucks. It's so hard to steer with that thing. It really is. Yeah, we didn't get it. That was kind of a waste of time. Oh, I see at least 2 people there. Alright, well thanks, Jill. Appreciate that. Yeah, take hits, take hits, take hits. Please. Good. Caught her by the ankles. Survivors can also body block guard hits, by the way, which sucks. They can jump in front of them just the last second and tank a hit. It's kind of, I mean, it's cool that you can hit somebody that's not being chased by a guard, but it also sucks. Because the odds that they get hit by a guard are already pretty slim. And then on top of that, you want to do that. Oh, that is a good hiding spot. I was going to say, that's my hiding spot. And with save, this guy's pretty much screwed. Dead hard, remember. Hey, I remember that time. Look at that. I almost never remember. Which means this guy's dead then, right? Yeah. That's a good way to track people now. Because dead hard only triggers after you've been hooked once, and we've seen it once, so if we're seeing it twice, that means he's dead. As long as we followed through, which I was pretty sure that we did. Good to know. Oh, and it got Claudette again. That was huge. And this girl messed up. Go pick up Claudette, because I'm pretty sure Yunjin is over there picking her up right now. We don't want to go through chasing her again. Yep. And then Homegirl's gonna die too, because she has nowhere to run. Realistically. Yeah, it's a dead straightaway. She doesn't have any windows or anything over there. Should be GG's. She might even run into me. Which is looking plausible. Look at that. Beautiful. Hook outside. Awesome. Oh, right here. Beautiful. Love it. Good game, yo. That was a good showcase of how Knight uses this well. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. Again, a good map for this. Knight does well indoors as well. So they can go through walls and stuff and catch people between floors. At least on the initial detection. 3 gens. I like that a lot better than the door is open. All these gens are regressing too. Jolt did wonders for us. Jolt's such a good perk. I should maybe try this with try this build with Nemesis.